Hello everybody, thanks for joining me on today's video. We're going to be leaving the dogfight format a little bit here because while this is a demonstration of a dogfight with me flying the F-4E against the F-100D, this is going to be a demonstration of what you should not do in the F-4. While this is true particularly of fighting the F-100, it's also true of just about everything in the game, which is you don't want to get into the merge in the F-4. And I don't say that to like disparage the airplane. I've got about 250 odd hours in it in this game, so I know it well enough to say that, and I'm not trying to be like Mr. Negative or downplay the jet or anything. It's just there's two dynamics working against you when you get to the merge in this airplane. The first is fuel. Out of the, like right away, if you start the fight with 12,000 pounds, the full fuel load in the F4, you've got 8 minutes of total flying time in full afterburner. And if you take out fuel for getting to the combat zone, taxiing from your revetment, cold start, those kind of things, or if you even have a mission you're doing before the dogfight, you're not even going to have 8 minutes. You're going to have something closer to like 5 or 6 of actual engagement time. And it doesn't help in this case that the F4 performs the best when you are in full afterburner or close to it. There's very little room in this airplane to maneuver in military, right? So if you're coming down from a climb, you're obviously going to be probably out of afterburner to maximize your turn at the top of your tactical egg or your tactical climb, but otherwise you're going to be in min to full afterburner in this airplane. And as I said, your fuel endurance in that situation is very limited. So further, like, the other reason why is in a multiplayer server especially, you are just not going to have the luxury of time to get into a long duration fight, right? So as you see here, I am fighting an F-100 and I'm keeping my speed up, but look how much time has already elapsed in this fight, right? I'm 2 minutes into this dogfight, and like that already is a large amount of time when you are in a multiplayer environment with multiple bandits that could jump you, right? I'm sure if you're watching this video, you have seen it on other channels and media, right? You see two people getting into a, close in, vicious, rolling scissors, really maneuverable type dogfight. It's like something out of Top Gun. It's a pit of skills between two airplane drivers, who's the best, and then one person gets shot down from a third party. And that is the ending of a vast majority of really interesting and engaging dogfights. So it lines up with the reality of how statistically air combat goes, which is that 80% of air-to-air kills are made with the targeted airplane being unaware of being shot, right? They don't even know they're being targeted until the missile hits them. And that dynamic is one big reason why a lot of pilots really don't particularly care about dogfighting capability. Like, the fact that you can be a good stick and rudder person and maneuver the jet's kind of in some ways irrelevant, because even if you could do that, what counts is your ability to engage somebody and get out, not your ability to conduct a rolling scissors with absolute precision. So as I climb up here to shake the F-100, the goal for what I'm trying to do here is to just get them to overshoot in a vertical climb. But again, coming back to the topic at hand, like this sort of maneuvering, turning, slicing, climbing kind of antics is really nasty on your F-4's fuel economy. And even if you do get the bandit and you take them down, you're going to be in a position where you're going to be low on fuel, you're going to be low on situational awareness, you're not going to have any idea where you are, who else is around you. And especially in a multiplayer context, the fact that you can like swing the F4 around, pitch it around at low speed like I'm doing here, it's almost irrelevant because you would not be allowed to do this, right? So while, I just spat this F-100 out front, and I did it with putting the the throttles to 0, flaps down, roll stab and yaw stab off, and just yanking the stick back and standing on the rudder. Sure, yeah, that's really good BFM maneuvering and close in, but it doesn't change the practical fact that, like, I am now 5.5 minutes almost into this fight, and I've basically just, all I've done is neutralize the conditions, right? Because the problem also with the F4 is if you can generate enough of an offset to force your opponent forward, you probably don't have enough energy to make a gunshot or a sidewinder solution work. So you now have to fold up your flaps, put your throttles back out, bring your speed brakes in, do all that switchology, and get on the power again to regain your energy so you can actually, chase the bandit and effect a kill. And unfortunately, that takes time, and naturally you are also shoveling fuel right out the back of those big J79s. So even though an F4 can affect a kill in the visual, like, it's not a physically what I mean to say is it's not a physical impossibility to do that. As you can see, I am making life very difficult for this Hun driver, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this is the approach I should take in the F-4E, because I'm low on fuel and my ability to actually, like, affect this kill and get out is very limited. Whereas what I should be doing is killing this guy from a distance with a Sparrow and just getting out of the fight, right? To kind of reinforce the lesson, you can look at the real life examples of what F4 aces in the US did, right? Out of Vietnam, there were 2 official US aces of the war. The first one was for I believe the US Navy got theirs on the same day that the US Air Force got theirs on May 10th, 1972. And the US Navy crew, Willie Driscoll and Duke Cunningham, they wound up riding a helicopter to their landing point, right, back to their base. And part of the reason for that was the fact that after dogfighting that expertly flown MiG-17 from the North Vietnamese side, they were fuel critical coming out of hostile territory. So even though they got shot down, the unfortunate reality of the dogfight was, yes, they won, but it left them in such a fuel critical state that Duke Cunningham had to point his F4 toward the coast and engage in a fuel conserving 300, like, not indicated gentle climb, because even if they hadn't have been shot, they probably would have needed to take a helicopter back to their carrier anyway, because they probably would have flamed out somewhere over the Gulf of Tonkin and had to eject. So that's where dogfighting the F4 close in gets you. Even if you can effect the kill, your ability to actually recover back to base is probably going to be compromised. Now, if we look at the Air Force aces and what they did, their ace aircraft currently is on display at the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, because the crew of 640463, that F-4D that got 6 kills, the crews that flew that plane, they got those kills with Sparrows at a distance, right? So those crews did not do the close in, stomp the rudder, flip off the safeties, and stability augmentation type fighting that you're seeing here, and that the U.S. Navy specialized in with their kills, right? The U.S. Air Force aces, they got their kills with the Sparrows, and they brought their planes back. So again, the point I'm trying to make here is not that the Air Force is better than the Navy, or that Top Gun didn't matter, or any of those kind of extremist positions. My point in sharing this is that if you're flying the F-4E and you are doing the multiplayer anti-air thing, don't do what I just did. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to get the macho man, look at me, I'm a gunslinger, gun pass against the bad guy. Kill the bandit with a Sparrow. Don't try to be Mr. Hero. Get your quick kill and get on to the next thing. Because if you do what I just showed you and you stick around in the fight to try to get that really cool gunshot in this F4, you're probably not going to survive. You're going to get third-partied, Or even if you don't get third-partied and you effect the kill and you get to do your victory roll of, you know, amazingness, you're probably going to be so fuel critical that you'll be lucky to land your airplane. And those aren't places you want to be. So fly smart, use a Sparrow, stay fast, get your kill and get out. Thanks for tuning in. Hope this helps some folks make some effective use of their F-4Es. And if you like my content, consider subscribing so you'll be notified when I post my next video. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.